So is it true, guys, that real photographers don't edit their photos? I've been doing photography since I was 18. I'm 35 now. Since day one, I've had other photographers lecture me about, oh, you're just a good editor and real photographers don't edit their pictures and oh, they didn't do it back in the day like that. For decades and decades and decades, photographers have been editing their photographs, even back in the film days. Even back in the day, there was this world famous photographer that was going around and photographing my indigenous ancestors, and they would clone out clocks and any type of technology that they had back then, and they would manipulate the image because they wanted to look like these Native Americans back in the day didn't have access to stuff like that. These are film shots straight out of the dark room, iconic film shots, and you can see all these lines and everything, they were dodge and burning. They were manipulating the exposure. They were editing the photograph. They were adding contrast, lower the density. If it was color photography, they could manipulate the color with different filters and different chemicals and the way they process it. There's a million ways that they were editing and processing and manipulating their images. This isn't nothing new. Now, as technology started to advance, we had Photoshop. And with Photoshop, you had to kind of understand the algorithms and the math behind the techniques of the film days, and you could apply them together. It was a lot of work. Back in the day, it would literally take me 30 to like 90 minutes to edit a hero shot for a company or a brand or blah, blah, blah. Now, in the year 2025, we have programs like Luminar Neo. That's who's sponsoring this video. It's because I actually use their software. Literally anybody has access to get professional looking results now thanks to software like this. Now, the point of the software isn't to do the job for you. It's purely to help you execute and deliver your vision that you had for the photograph. In reality, the way that I use this software, it streamlines my process. My final image doesn't look any different, but the time it takes for me to get to that final deliverable has been streamlined like crazy. Literally within 30 minutes, I could edit a whole freaking photo shoot where before it was 30 minutes at minimum per shot. So let me show you all the main tools that I pretty much use when it comes to Luminar. And I'm gonna show you guys actual jobs, actual deliverables I sent to a client that I used in Luminar to enhance the look of it. So again, this was for a professional shoot that I shot on the Crow Reservation. Again, going back to my indigenous roots, this is some of the work that I really like to capture. And I try my best to keep it authentic and not manipulate it too heavily. But sometimes I still have to. Again, it kind of goes into with the culture of everything. But you can see this is the raw image. This is straight out of camera. I shot this on the Lumix S1R2 with a Rokinon 35 to 150 millimeter. And this is my edit that I did right here in Capture One. Now, there was something that was really freaking bugging me, and that was the sky. So even though in person the sky looked amazing, the way we photographed it, it was really hard to balance the subjects in the background with the sky at the same time. So I was like, let me just use Luminar for this. So I went into Luminar, and then this is the image that I got out of Luminar. Without having to do any crazy editing or anything like that, after my initial edit, I was able to do some extra sauce on here and replace that sky. I don't think people realize that majority of the films that they watch, they're doing sky replacements on a lot of those movies now. Majority of the photography in like magazines and just like wherever you're seeing them, there's a lot of sky replacements going on. You know, before you would have to watch hours of tutorials and take lessons and blah, blah, blah. And really it would take forever just to replace the sky. Now, you guys will see right here how freaking easy this is. So I'm just gonna go, you see I'm already in my sunset clouds here. I did purchase extra sky packs over the past year or two since I've been using Luminar. And you can see I'm just gonna click it, and in real time, it's just gonna replace the sky for me. And I'm gonna show you all the adjustments that I do to make sure it looks as natural as possible. So I kind of wish I went with this guy originally, but it's too late. I already sent those images out. But I want to match the blur. So you can see our sky's too sharp here. So I'm just gonna defocus until it matches the background there a little bit right there. Now the atmospheric haze, this is the main trick I use to really make it blend. So I'm just gonna crank up the atmospheric haze. And it's okay if it's a little, you know, muted out a little bit, because in post, I could bring it back down and make it look natural again. Or, you know, I could just lower the brightness right here if I want to. Or I can warm it up as well. There's a million different things. With our scene lighting too, I will use this all the time because this does help blend in the overall image on here. It's even going to shift the colors on the subjects without shifting the skin tones, but it's making all the ambient saturation and tonality match with the sky. If you were to do this in Photoshop, this will literally take over an hour just to do. And it probably wouldn't look as natural. So this is making our life easier. It's not creating the vision for me. It's helping me execute what I originally had in mind. Another tool that I really freaking love to use is the atmosphere. Oh my God. Here's a trick that I've never shared before, but something that I've always done in Photoshop. I would separate the subject from the background, and on the background, I would lift the black levels up. And then on the subjects, I would make sure the black levels on them were accurate. That naturally created a 3D pop. And so people would always ask me, is this film or is this medium format? And it would confuse people's brains because they couldn't understand how I was doing that. The atmosphere does that same exact thing. Movies use the same things to create a more cinematic image. So it would be kind of cool if we could add some tonality to this. You know, maybe when Luminar sees this, maybe they'll put that as an option because I think that would be pretty sick. All of a sudden our subjects are really popping off, but we are edging an unrealistic look because I'm starting to edit it a little bit too much. So I want to make it incredibly subtle. And there we go. Let's look at the before and after. That's before. Didn't look bad, honestly. But then that looks magical. Later today, I do have to finish a deliverable for a pretty high-end client. The budget was pretty high-end, and the way that these shots are going to be seen, I don't want to say any brand names or anything like that, just because, you know, this is the type of work that, you know, my YouTube audience doesn't get to see. This is like the boring work where I just never talk about it because I'm like, I don't know if people care to see me shooting a Santa Claus. It's going to be for their holiday campaign. I could go and I can open this up in Luminar, and they wanted to have kind of like this nostalgic warmth to it. So for this shot, this is what I would do for it when I go and send the deliverables. I'm going to go in, I'm going to go to the glow. You can see we have soft focus, and then we have this glow here. We have the Orton effect. So you can see all of a sudden that gave it like this very nostalgic warmth to it. So later today, I do have to jump on a conference call with this client, and I have to present them some options for edits and color grading and all of that, so we can figure out what the final look is going to be. And this is gonna be one of the things, and I'm gonna be using Luminar for it, again, for a high-end, high-paying client here. Another thing that they're talking about is kind of creating a matte look. So if I wanted to, I could go into the matte tool right here, and you can see I could get this matte look. And now we're starting to get like this really beautiful postcard type look onto there. Going back to the haze trick as well, the atmosphere trick, I even use that on interior shots because you'll see it can make it look like we were using a haze machine. Legit, while we were on the shoot, I started to haze out this room, and the creative director had us kill the haze. They said they didn't like it. So this is another thing where I'm like, hey, you said don't use haze, but this is what it will look like to give it more of a cinematic, you know, thick type look to it. Even in the develop tool too, I can still go in here, I can lower the highlights down, I can do some smart contrast, I can lower the exposure down a little bit. So this is the before, that's the after. All right guys, last thing I'm gonna show you is some of the portrait tools I like to use in Luminar. The lighting was pretty damn good on that day as well. But you can imagine if you had bad lighting on a face, you can use the face light on here. So the exposure on her face is a little darker than it is on her arm. So I could just boost the face light a little bit and try to even it out. And then you can see for the eyes as well, we go in, we start making her eyes pop a little bit more. You want to be as subtle as possible with these tools because human eyes are the thing that like really look human. So if you start tweaking them too much, you could start making them look unrealistic. Just because the tool's there does not mean you have to pump it all the way up. The improve eyebrows, I use this a lot. For some reason, digital sensors like to lighten the eyebrows, especially after you start editing. And then you see on the skin, we also have some skin tools in here, some shine remover. Sometimes I'll use this if a model has oily skin. I have oily skin, so, you know, my T-zone, so up here, down here, a little bit right here and here, a lot of oil will build up, and sometimes it just like will make the camera peak and there's no way of getting it back. So the shine remover will fix all that for you. You can even see too, say, you know, sometimes when a model's posing, they could pose a certain way to where their body doesn't look natural how it does in real life. Those are the times where I will do this shape thing. So, you know, it is human for your body to start looking strange if you start doing like crazy poses and stuff, but sometimes I don't want people to look at the awkwardness of it. I want them to look at the whole frame. I don't want them looking at the human or anything like that. I want the whole shot to be immersed into the viewer's eye. So that's when I'll start doing things like this as well. But again, I don't think she needs this at all. And there's other times too, when I'm styling a model, sometimes the clothes will be very boxing on them and you start losing their human shape. That's when I'll start doing stuff like this as well and try to build their natural shape back in outside of the clothing. Now with Luminar, you can import raw files now and you can just edit straight off of here. So say if you don't want to invest into multiple systems, you could just invest into this and you can edit your raw image straight from there. It also has mobile apps available too. So if you're somebody who's mainly doing like an iPhone or Android workflow, you can even do a lot of this inside their mobile app as well. Down in the description, I have all that info and all the details down there if you want to click the link and try it out. And I will also ask Luminar for a discount for you guys. And if I'm able to get that, I'll put all the info in the description as well. Again, guys, I'm not showing all these things just because they're sponsoring it. I'm showing it because I genuinely use these tools and I genuinely love this software. I use it for my YouTube thumbnails. As you've seen, all my commercial work, I use it onto there, all my personal work. I use it whenever I need to freaking use it. It streamlines everything that I need and it removes a lot of the headaches. And I really wish I had this when I was younger, but you know, I'm grateful that I had to learn the hard way because now I have all that knowledge and experience and I can apply it to tools like this. So is it true, guys, that real photographers don't edit their photos? Yes, they do edit their photos. It's literally half of our vision, our creativity. Again, we've been doing this for decades. There's nothing new. It's just the tools that we use to do it are new. It's okay to edit your photographs, especially if you're a real artist, whether you're trying to get it mostly on camera or all in post. I don't care. I care if you're making unique visual things that I can look at and just enjoy and love or cry about or, you know, express whatever. That's it. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Let me know if you check out Luminar. Peace.